Welcome to another episode of last week's Comics Day. I've got a decent stack of comics here. On top, we are starting with Wolverine Revenge. This is one of the red band issues, so there is some extra gore in here, but it's fine. What really confuses me about this book, and I've mentioned this before, is just how issue 1, to me, set up a clearly revenge story, but I fought against a specific group of people, and then that group was dispatched very quickly within the first 3 issues, and then I'm like, well, we still have 2 issues to go. What is going to happen? And I have no idea why he's wearing the yellow outfit for this, but time has passed. I believe 20 years? Actually, that's another point. Anyway, alright, let me get back to Forge. Because they talk about how much time has passed, and he looks identical. He doesn't look like he's aged a day. I'm going to have comments about somebody else, how they're drawn. Anyway, Forge does not look like he's aged at all. Wolverine very clearly has. I'm confused by that. I thought there was maybe an LMD situation. I had no idea what was happening. Right, but we go to Sabretooth, who is still alive in the Professor X chair and is missing an arm. There's this stump. It's odd. It's odd that he killed the others. It's odd that he's wearing the yellow outfit. It's odd that he is keeping Sabretooth alive, but I think that's really what the revenge is about. I think it's... At this point, the only assumption I can make is that the revenge is actually dual-natured Wolverine and Sabretooth and the dynamics of their relationship. Otherwise, I cannot make sense of the structure of this book. Similar to a Tom King series, I don't know that I can recommend this until it's complete, until I see... There we go. There's some red band for you. Until I see it complete. So there's 1 issue to go. I don't know what it's listed for. I know that it's late. But we have some future stuff happening with some Omega Red people, and then there is a last page reveal about somebody else. And yes, of course, everything is directed by Sabretooth, and there's a very clear haircut in shadows. Earlier in the book, it doesn't fully make sense to me. But it looks great. Arcbound issue 3, and when I read issue 2, I made a statement at the time, like, if 3 is on my pull list, then I will still get it, and if it's not, then I'm done. 3 was already on my pull list, and so I wound up buying it. But I am officially done with this. Things happen. This is mostly a fight. It starts between these two. They're going into this boat that's been sunk in a previous battle because they're both going, well, he's going after a MacGuffin and she's going after him. And then they fight before teaming up because there is a third party at play, and third party makes a really stupid decision, and it's very pedestrian. I do not care. And I'm out. I think it's I don't remember how long it is, like 8, 10, 12 issues. I'm done. No interest in continuing this any further. Art's nice, except I will say, like, her legs give me Transformers vibes. They are so huge, and she has such a small torso. I don't like disproportionately large calves, and such a tiny head. Like, that's a tiny head, even compared just to her torso. I don't like looking at her. I'm moving on. Superman 22. This is still Mora, which I'm grateful for, and I guess he's on it at least through 25. It seems like maybe he's sticking with this instead of Justice League Unlimited, which surprises me. But this is just idiotic in nature. So the previous issue ended with this armada coming into the skies over Metropolis, and there was a declaration of, you need to give us Also, this fucking translator adjusting it. Why would it say translator adjusting in the new language rather than the previous language? I know why. It's because so that we will understand it as the audience. It assumes that we're stupid instead of it's just get out of here. Get out. I don't care. Get out. So it starts with an armada over Metropolis, and they go to talk to this dude, and there's a Doomsday in the background for some reason. And this entire conversation is just stupid. It's so stupid. It's like, you need to give us Doomsday because he destroyed our planets, and it says here we're going to put him to good use. And like, no. One, I'm going to side, if I have two sides, and one of them is giving me an ultimatum, I'm going to choose the person that isn't giving me the ultimatum, which weirdly, in this case, is Doomsday. So I'm surprisingly on Superman's side, except there is like zero negotiation. It's all just immediate escalation into do this or we will kill you, which does not make them better than Doomsday. Like, they are just as bad. Also, there's this giant armada, but they only fight one dude. I mean, actually, he runs away, and then they are fighting some other people, but they're just like stock soldiers, almost robot. Not like actual robots. I still like this outfit. But this is my problem, too, with Superwoman. She should not... I think she should be reserving her powers since they are on a clock, and, like, you could have brought Supergirl up there as backup instead of Lois, and, like, I don't understand many of the decisions this book is making, and yet for some reason I'm still buying it, and, like, this conclusion that gets jumped to, there's a lot happening here. Also, for some reason, like, he's so desperate for a picture of Superwoman, and he's using his girlfriend to fly into danger, and then, of course, danger strikes. And this is the last page of the book. So, that's going on. And for some reason, I'm going to continue buying it. And it borderline infuriates me because of how stupidly it's written. And yet, Dan Moore, I should really make better decisions. Hey, here's a better decision. And I've just found out that this is a 7-issue series. It's solicited at least in issue 6. It says in the text, 7-issue series. So now I know. Thank you, Dark Horse. If this is a company-wide decision that you are starting to dole out this information instead of keeping it secret, thank you. It is noticed and appreciated. So, we, by the end of this, are roughly halfway through, and cool things are happening. Really kind of terrible things are happening to characters that I care about. Especially Inspector Insector. He gets thrown out of a building while he's trying to investigate. The building has virtually no backgrounds. But he gets the shit kicked out of him. And later he's asking for help and he's completely ignored. And the Singer character is left. And Conquistador goes to somebody he used to know and is about to get into fights for payment. Like... Nothing good is happening to the characters that are new and old. And it's well done. But I don't know where any of it's leading. I can't get a sense of where the story is going. I can see where the individual character arcs are going, but as a series, as a 7-issue series, and presumably Black Hammer will continue after this, even though that hasn't been mentioned yet, I believe, in any of the Lemire newsletters. Regardless, structurally, sort of like Wolverine Revenge, I can't make sense out of where the story is going. I still enjoy it, though. This is similarly an odd one. So this is Minor Arcana, issue 5. I think they're calling this the end of the arc, but that doesn't make any sense. Issue 4 really is the end of the arc because issue 5 starts with a new person in a new time. And it's... I don't know. So we jump to 1976, and we are seeing her grandfather, and weird stuff happens, and we see a bunch of his sort of life both private and with his family, and a bunch of time spent in his bar. But it's the collection that's coming out in a couple of months collects the first 5 issues, which is his granddaughter in, I'm going to say the present day, I don't know if that's officially established, but that's what I'm going to declare, is his granddaughter, and now we're going to have 1 issue at the end of the book, which is a completely different character and time period, and I don't understand that decision at all. It's almost, I mean, it's almost Adventure Man, the way that they just randomly collected those books. But here's some weirdness that's going on. It is well done. There was an amazing, like, if you are at all curious, there is, Boom put out a 10-page preview of this issue in particular. So it is, as I said, roughly standalone for the moment as far as time and place and character. You could, if you are at all curious about Minor Arcana, read those 10 pages and get a sense of what Lemire is doing, and I will recommend doing that if, again, you are at all on the fence about whether or not to buy this. I am going to switch to buying this in trade form, so it's going to be, I don't know, 6 months plus before I read more Minor Arcana, because to me, just not enough is happening on a per issue basis, and similar to Saga, I want to read it in larger chunks. A monthly schedule for this monthly reading is just not, there's not enough meat on that bone, I think, to sustain, for me, a monthly reading schedule. So I'm going to switch this over to trades. It's going to be a while before you hear me talk about this again. I haven't decided pick of the week yet, but this is definitely the most fun, because I have had complaints about much of this so far. But most fun, it definitely goes to TMNT Naruto. This is mostly exposition. It's history. It's kind of a recap for things that we didn't see, but it's history of sort of Hamato Yoshi. It's history of, I'm going to say mostly the turtle side. So we get some April exposition about what is going on with her. There's not a lot of Naruto except for reactions. But a lot of turtle stuff, and I still hope, I'm going to continue saying this, I think he built this entire machine to make an espresso. Is that what that is? I have no idea, but that's a huge, huge machine. I think they say in here at one point, and I told my wife this, Big Apple Village. So it's definitely, it's so bizarre. The merging of worlds of Ninja Turtles and Naruto, but it works, and these designs kick ass, and I would still buy toys if someone were to make these, which I hope they do. Anyway, just not Playmates. Anyway, we get some Shredder stuff in here as well, and his name almost makes sense in the way that they introduce it. So it's a bunch of history of Ooze and April, Stockman, Shredder, Foot, Yoshi. There's a lot of stuff. Just it's almost an entirely conversation-based issue. Still good though. I enjoyed it. There's a new DSTRLY book, and I continue trying DSTRLY series because I like either the creators or the premise that is put forth. And I don't know. Snyder's a writer that I don't know that I trust anymore, and Jock is Jock. So, here's the art. Oh, I forgot about the art. Alright, this kid is 17. He's supposed to be in high school. His best friend is this guy, presumably also the same age, yet, like, fully sporting a beard. And his girlfriend that I am about to show you is, like, middle-aged? Why are there so many lines on her face? I don't understand this at all. There is nakedness below this face. But, so he opens a closet door, and his naked girlfriend pops out, and I'm like, she is a demon, she's a witch, this is not actually your girlfriend. And, no, that's, seemingly, thus far, not what happens. But, a bunch of stuff happens in here, and because I know Snyder, or let's say I know Snyder, right? I'm looking for whatever the twist is going to be, And so far there isn't one, but I have plenty of ideas about where this is going. The root of it is there is this retired cop, the one that we saw in the beginning. This is 1975 is when it starts. He is 17. His girlfriend is leaving town, and before she is able to leave town, she is brutally murdered, and he finds her body. He then spends the next, I don't know how long, whatever. He spends decades working for the FBI in a increasing capacity. I think it says like state, national, federal, whatever. All of it gets explained in here, his past, but he is also, there is a brain tumor that is, he only has a few months to live, and there's a son, and he has a grandchild, and he also has some hallucinations because of the tumor and where it's pressing on his brain, and he has some memory issues. So this is his, I think he continually refers to her as his aide, kind of a nurse. There's more nakedness and boobs on the opposite page. I'm trying to avoid showing all that stuff. So he has some memory issues. Time is slipping for him, and I have an idea that he's actually the killer that he is trying to hunt, and I don't know. I don't know. Here's the thing about DSTRLY. There is only, for as many titles as I've tried, there's only one that I've actually completed, and that was Somna. Somna is good, and I refused to buy the collection of it because of decisions that DSTRLY made and how they were collecting it. Also, completely at random, I learned that the Blood Brothers Mother, Blood Brothers Mother, is a 4-issue series. So somehow that story is going to wrap up with only 1 issue to go, because solicitations are starting to come out, and I saw that. So I do not see how that's going to wrap up in just 1 more issue. Whatever, I will get it, and then I will make a decision about the overall nature of the story and whether or not it's good and you should buy it. But I'm going to at least get the 2nd issue of this. I'm going to see where it's going if I don't enjoy that, because there are things in here, minor annoyances. I don't know if extreme overkill is really, does not sound like a law enforcement official term. I don't know. Perhaps it is. I have not Googled. I don't know that I want to. Anyway. There is this retired FBI agent, and there was a case that got away, and possibly that guy is back, except possibly it's also maybe himself, and he's doing the killings himself, or the guy never existed. Like, there's questions, and I will at least get the next issue. I don't know that I will get the complete series, because DSTRLY, just to me, is not as good as they think they are. Lastly, I got the new Mignola. This is Bowling with Corpses. I've been looking forward to this since it was announced. Berg says it's great. I have not yet even cracked this open, but I will as, now that I'm caught up on things. No, that's not true. I've been reading the Black Science that compendium thing, and enough that I'm enjoying it enough that I got paid for editing a comic, and I'm just rolled that money directly into buying volume 2 of that 10th anniversary oversized hardcover. So I have that coming. I have not yet finished the first, but I think, you know what, I'll save it. I'll save it for when I eventually talk about that series, but I do have opinions that I will get to. Yeah, it's good. It's good. I'm continuing it, and book 2 is on the way. So this is everything that I got this week. It is a weird week, because I'm going to say pick of the week goes to Naruto. Ninja Turtles Naruto. Definitely the most fun. Great art, and I think kind of everything else annoyed me in some way. This, certainly, it's good. I'm going to continue getting it. There's weirdness in all of this stuff. Black Hammer's great. Maybe it's just like a Lemire thing for me right now, where just on a per issue basis, he's not giving me quite enough. Maybe that's what is going on. And surprising everyone, most likely. Pick of the week, I'm giving it to Ninja Turtles Naruto. No takebacks. So that is everything that I got this week. As always, I get my books from a local comic shop. If you don't know where yours is, you can use this URL to find the one closest to you. Did I say that twice? I don't know. Thank you for watching.